Hey, how's it going? This is Kayne Frost, and today I wanted to talk about dating the good girl versus dating the bad girl. Alright, so I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of the difference between the two. You know, the good girl is the one that's, like a pastor's daughter, church girl, just a really wholesome girl that doesn't like to sleep around, believes in relationships, has a really good upbringing with her parents, and is really educated, real career minded, self driven, independent, all that kind of stuff that goes with it. That's the good girl. And they usually, they dress nice at work. They don't wear mini skirts and all that stuff. It's really classy and very professional. And then you got the bad girls. Bad girls are, kind of reveal a little bit more when they work, and usually don't work in those kind of good places. Usually work in the restaurant industry, even, topless industry and stuff like that. And they'll usually have different colored, hot pink or, green dyed hairs and several tattoos and stuff like that. And you got kind of the in-between girl that can work in those kind of a nice place but still have tattoos, but those tattoos are really not to be seen unless they were wearing, like a bathing suit or something like that. Those are kind of like the in-between girls, so you got like three ranges, and they're all going to come with different kind of baggage in ways, or kind of history. So the bad girls, they're going to be really crazy. They're going to be really good in bed, but they're also going to be really crazy mentally. So if they do get attached to you, then you're going to be a lot of issues, a lot of financial issues, a lot of jealousy issues. Either she's going to be jealous of you on who you're talking to, even if it might be your friend, a relative, anything. She's going to be really obsessive and really crazy about anybody you talk to, and really controlling, and vice versa. So if you're going to be dating her, you're not going to be trusting her on whoever her friends are. Maybe she has nothing but guy friends, and who knows what she's doing with them, if she's sleeping with them or not, but those are her friends, and she always wants to hang out with them, and that's gonna cause you to have jealousy and insecurity about her, and you're really never gonna be able to trust her in that type of way. And people that get into those relationships, they really like the drama, and they really like the whole aspect of just craziness. I mean, a lot of people will say once they're in love and they're all in it, that that they shouldn't have gotten involved, and how they should have just walked away, or should have just hit it and walked away. But now they're wrapped up in it, and they got feelings. Now they want to change the woman, basically trying to change the hoe into a housewife mentality. And I don't know if it'll work or not. I've never really seen it work out, but it's always interesting to see those people in those types of relationships. It was usually when I was a lot younger, just people in toxic relationships, and they weren't going to work out, but just the ongoing history between the two, with the girl having several babies with different dads, up to 5 or 6 babies, 3 or 4 dads, craziness inside the room, and always different dads coming over different time, picking up their kids, and even the guy and the girl having their issues at all times, a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs, so many things were going on all times. It's just very, very crazy. And I think that girl at that time, dating my friend, was a stripper. All that stuff is just crazy. So that's going to come with the territory of you dating one of those girls. It's yeah, they're really good in bed, but they're really crazy, always just finding ways to yell at you, just drama. Those kind of girls like drama. So a lot of times, when you go into other YouTube channels and you're talking to other dating coaches and stuff, when they're talking about girls, like pump and dump, and you can't really be listening to these girls and just treat them like trash, all that stuff, that's because they've been dealing with a lot of these kind of low-class women in their lives, and they believe all women are like that because maybe that's all they dealt with. They never got with a very classy girl that really respects her body and really respects who she dates. There's women out there like that. Don't believe people that say there's not. There really, really, really is people like that. I've dated them. Very, very, very good girls. Only slept with just one guy, the whole time growing up, and then the second time they dated somebody, they either married, had a kid, and started a family right away. There's girls out there like that that are not these hoed out type of females and stuff. So it's kind of crazy when you run across those channels and people are always talking about, these girls are for the streets and they're just bad and don't believe them. Yeah, there's a majority of the girls out there are like that, and they don't really have their heads on straight, and then it's usually not until their 30s or they had a couple of kids when they realize they want to settle down and find a good guy. And it's usually, I feel for them because, a lot of guys, they didn't know what they wanted, and a lot of guys really did put a lot of their semen and their energy and all that stuff into these girls, and they're walking around with all these different emotions inside of them. Because when you do have sex, you guys are sharing history together, all that energy and that stuff. That's why I'm really selective on who I spend time with and sleep with, because I don't want to sleep with some girl that's had a lot of dudes, but that stuff's going to rub in onto me, into my mental health, into my vibration and stuff like that. I'd rather stay clean and just deal with girls. You can talk to them when you're vetting them out, even if they say they haven't been sleeping around. There's a lot of things you can ask them to figure out, if you can slip up and make them come forward and kind of tell them, what they've really been doing. When a girl's really, really feeling, and you get them that kind of emotion, they'll really let you know, because, these girls, see you as that dude, they can open up to and stuff like that. And it's up to you if you want to pursue it and if you want to make it happen and fix their life and all that other stuff, man. There's some girls that, like I said, when they get their head on straight and they really wisen up and they figure out, that they shouldn't be doing all that stuff, and then when they come to that realization, yeah, man, it's going to be a tough road, but those girls, I'm pretty sure they're going to be good until that guy messes up, and they might bounce back and kind of like a drug rehab dude, they're going to relapse and be a little hoe for a little while and then come back and try to be good. So I'm saying it's going to be a tough road, and it's going to take a few dudes that are really, really about a relationship and not just pump and dump type dudes to get that girl back on the right track. It's going to be a tough road for that girl in that type of situation. And then you got the girl that's half and half, that's halfway kind of for the streets and halfway relationship, and it could be that girl that I was just talking about in that stage. But there's even some girls that are like that to begin with, so maybe they're kind of sleeping around, kind of relationships, kind of sleeping around, bouncing back and forth. And those girls too are gonna be it's gonna be a very fine line to kind of basically control them into being with just one guy. I hate to say the word control, but I mean, it's more or less, you can't really control a person, but it's up to that person to love themselves enough that they're going to respect their bodies, and they're going to be honest with the guy that they're with, and they're not going to want to cheat on him. Because a lot of girls can cheat on any guy just about at any single time. They're always getting hot on or hit on, the hotter they are. So I mean, it's going to be a lot of work for that girl, but I'm pretty sure if she finds the right guy, she's had a few relationships, she knows what she's looking for, she finds that right dude, and he's all about himself, he loves himself, he loves his business, he loves his job, he loves his girl, and he tells her up front, look man, I'm having a good time, it seems like you're a good person. If you want to make this work out, once she says she wants a relationship, you can just tell her, you want to make this work out, I'm cool with that, I'll just see you, but if I ever catch you or hear about you slipping up, we're done, and I'm moving on, because I could find someone just like you, and I'm having fun over here. I don't need no negative energy or some girl trying to cheat on me or saying she doesn't, whatever, doesn't love me, and I'm behind my back doing all that kind of stuff, but trying to still bring that energy to me. Nah, I'm good. So I would let them know up front what your situation is, what you want out of the deal, and it could work. It very could, and it could slip up like that rehab situation or relapse situation, and she could fall off, and then you might have to let her go, no matter how much feelings you have. Those situations, those guys are good, and the girl, maybe she cheats on once, and then the friends are saying, don't take her back. He ends up taking her back because he sees her good side. They get back together, and then she cheats again. Sometimes those guys take them back again, but sometimes they're like, all right, the first time's a cheater, once a cheater, always a cheater. They let them go, which kind of you should. You already had that agreement at the very beginning. But sometimes they come back. Maybe it might work out, maybe it might not. But those are those kind of in-betweens. They still need work trying to, make them relationship type of people. And then the last thing is you got the very, very good chicks. And these chicks are really, really cool. I like them. They're really, I dated a few of them. And they're just really, really down to earth. I've talked to one girl where she was in a relationship with one guy for like 5 or 6 years. And she was on the outs. And, we would talk and hang out. But, nothing would ever happen and stuff like that. And I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want anything to happen between us, because I always, like I said in past videos, that the way you meet somebody is usually the way they're going to end up leaving you. So if you're convincing them to cheat on their boyfriend, most likely when she's not feeling it with you, she's going to be talking to somebody else, and then she's going to end up leaving you for somebody else, just like, she met you at the very beginning. So, and as I was talking to her, we both knew that she was in a relationship and nothing was ever going to happen until she was over that relationship. And even so, I remember at some point in time, she wanted to do something because she wasn't getting the sex that she was, or the attention, both, from the guy she was now living with. And, she wanted it from me. And I just said no, because I was like, man, that's messed up. Because I knew that had we gone to that next step, that she would have definitely been in love with me, and I would have been in love with her. But then again, I'm breaking my own principle about, getting with the girl while she's with another guy. I think eventually she broke up with the guy, and, I don't even know if she's dating somebody else, but I was dating somebody else. I left her behind, and, I started having a relationship with somebody else, and that was actually pretty cool. So, that's the thing about, but there are good girls out there. Anyway, so yeah, there are a bunch of good girls out there that really like faithful guys and are really committed to relationships. Some, like I said, that last relationship the girl I was talking about, she was just a little bit confused, and really wanted out of that relationship. That was her first relationship she had ever been in with some guy, when she had been dating him for she was 18. I think she, like I said, left him when he was where she was 25 or something like that. So yeah, they're out there, and those girls are really, really cool. I mean, when you talk to them, they don't play no games. If you're trying to do all this, kind of trickery and these game tactics and all that stuff doesn't work. Maybe the flirtatious and all that stuff, the charismatic type of genuine person will work, because you're funny and you're witty and all that other stuff. That'll work. But when you're trying to do all these little tactics and all this other stuff that you use on regular girls that you just pump and dump and just move on, those kind of things just bounce right off the wholesome, good type of girls. They just kind of they don't even know how to react to those types of sayings or whatever plans you have, game tags that you have. They just really won't work. You just got to come off as a genuine person, and you see them for who they are, and it's just man, you're just talking to a really, really down-to-earth, cool person that knows what they want. They know what kind of career they want. They know all that stuff. Now, and I've seen this before, you can totally mess up a good girl and make her one of those mid-type halfway girls, or even the really hoed out girls, depending on who she gets with. If she does get with a guy who's a straight up pimp, or some dude that's just really good game and stuff like that, and he really does it really good for her in bed and talks sweet stuff to her and all that stuff, but yet he's just a dog and wants to sleep with everybody else, all these other girls. He's not a relationship type guy, but he convinced her that he was, and he got her all wrapped up into him, and it's gonna drive her crazy, and then she's gonna be chasing, and she's gonna be doing all kinds of dumb things that she really shouldn't have been doing because this dude just had it going on for him, and now it can hit that girl in ways that it can spiral her out of control, where she's now hanging out with a bad crowd, girls that are kind of like these hoey type of girls, and next thing you know, she's one of those girls, man, girl for the streets, because the dude that she fell in love with and got interest with just messed up her mind. And it's really hard for a girl to get out of that situation back into the wholesome goody girl. I mean, because once you cross that line and went over to that dark side, that's it, man. I mean, there's really no coming back. There's really no wholesome about it. The mindset is different when you're the for the streets type of girl. That's it. Everything's messed up. Now you're just seeing these dudes in a different way, and all the relationship, the gold mine, and all that stuff kind of goes out the window. So I've seen that happen, and that is crazy. But that is the guy's fault. That's not the girl's fault of doing that to her and messing her mind up. But for the most part, when a guy's always supposed to be upgrading a woman in her life, by what he knows and what he's bringing to the table. So if a girl, let's say, most women are not really good money management type people, but if they, just kind of just handy type person, and we all know that a guy does all handiwork. But now if a guy comes in, and shows her how to, change a battery out in a car, change a headlight, just do things around the house. This is how you fix the faucet, the wrench, and this is how you change out air filter. Just showing her regular stuff around the house, just kind of modern day stuff. That's upgrading the woman's mind. So the next time she's going to be qualifying the guy, she's going to want to know if he knows these types of things that she was being taught. Or even if the guy she runs across, the guy's going to be like, oh, you know this, you know how to do this. And they're like, yeah, my last boyfriend showed me this and that. I don't know how to change the transmission in a car or something like that. The guy's going to be shocked. Like, wow, that guy really did upgrade you pretty good. But you're always supposed to, when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to be bettering each other. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be looking, like I said at the very beginning, you're supposed to be having a good life. They're supposed to be having a good life. But you're supposed to come together and better each other in ways that when you leave, if you do leave, that they're a better person than you found them, and the other person is too, because you helped each other out along the way. It wasn't just one-sided the whole way, like she's all into you and whatever you did, basically a servant to you, you know what I'm saying? And she's not doing anything outside of her life but serving you. You know what I'm saying? That's not upgrading anything. She's just always helping you out 24/7. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to upgrade her out and to help her help you out in certain ways. So you still got to give her information to do certain things, and then vice versa, man. She's going to be showing you love and support and all that other stuff that's going to be helping you out. So when, like I said, if you do leave, you're going to know the good qualities of a person, the bad qualities of a person. So when you meet somebody else, you're going to know what you don't want. In order to know what you do want, you have to know what you don't want first. So when you first get in a relationship, first 1 or 2 or 3, you're going to be figuring out a lot of stuff like, oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this. And then what's wrong with people? They stick with relationships forever and ever and ever until it's just a really melting pot and they really want to break up. And then the next relationship they get, it's going to be, oh my God, it's so good, because they see great qualities, but they really didn't pick all the bad qualities out, to advance to the next person. It's unfair to the next person they date. But you should be checking it. So like the first couple of relationships you've ever been in, checking to see the good qualities and the bad qualities that they have. Sometimes people hit it off and they're soulmates and they last forever, but for most people they're not. So you find out the bad qualities. I don't like this, and then you kind of go your own way after 2 or 3 months. Find another person, you like these good qualities. As you advance, maybe your 5th, 6th relationship, now you're primed up. You know everything you want and everything you don't want. And then you see this in this person, you have this list in your head, you check it all off, and she checks the things off in you, and on all the things that you bring to the table and things that you provide. And that's how things work out. That's usually, like I said, in the good girl phase, Or even sometimes those girls in the middle that I said you're gonna need to do some work with. Maybe they're bouncing around relationships and they're trying to figure out stuff too. And then you guys meet because you're doing the same thing. You're kind of like sleeping around. So maybe you're that middle type dude. The good girls, the very, very good girls, and the very, very good guys that are virgins all the way up to they're married. Hey, maybe they meet up and then maybe everything's good. And they have their own problems behind their doors and they see a therapist to try to straighten them out. And that's the way they live their life. But all right, man, so that's kind of the stages of the women that you need to decide with on who you want to get. Do you want the low level, low class girls? Do you want the mid class girls? Or do you want the goody goody girls? You know, a lot of low class girls will act like goody goody girls. A lot of the middle class girls will act like goody goody girls. But the goody goody girls will never act like these other two girls. They're just in their own class. And they are out there. And you can easily find out if, you know, they're really goody goody girls or not. I mean, just by if you're just dating one, you know, your other friend comes and tries to hit on her and stuff. And if she comes back and tells you, you're her friend's trying to hit on you, damn, man, I mean, you got a good girl on you. But now if she doesn't, you know what I'm saying? And now she's sleeping with your friend, then there you go. You got your answer. You know, so there's a lot of things that you can do and a lot of ways you can figure out if these girls are telling the truth or not. All right, so man, so that's about it. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. These are my books on Amazon and elsewhere. All right, man, this is Kayne Frost. Until the next time, rock on, man, and peace.